Hello, welcome back to the channel. You find us in the middle of the Lake District because we're on a holiday in the UK. Yuck. It's Smile You're on TV and this is my best smile. Sorry folks, that's as good as it gets. Right, today's video is all about the wife, really, because she's with me sitting on the back. Now, before you all complain, yes, I shouldn't put my helmet like that. Yes, she shouldn't put her helmet like that. But one thing I can guarantee you, there are no gloves inside because we're not allowed to do that. Right, on with the video. As I said, we're in the Lake District, we're on holiday. Now, rather than going across to France or across to Germany or across to Spain and spending an absolute fortune, this COVID thing made us stay in the UK. So we're now adorned with masks and we're staying at pubs and B&Bs and we're being welcomed. And Mondays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we're eating out to help out, you know, which is absolutely fine because we've saved a fortune. Anyway, we're in the UK, we're in the middle of nowhere and oh, the scenery is just amazing. But anyway, it's not about that and it's not necessarily about this at the moment. It's about what's behind the camera and that be the wife and about how her bum sits on this. So let's have a chat with the wife. So, as I said, it is a beautiful scenery over there and we have passed some amazing places. This is Mrs. Smile. She does it so well. Her name's Adele, my name's Wayne, as you've probably seen in some of the previous videos. We're out touring on the GS. We're in the UK at the moment, which is very unusual for us. We do like to go abroad. We like to experience different cultures and things like that. But obviously this COVID year has brought us to having to come around the UK, which we don't do that often because it doesn't feel like it's the right thing to do. But at the moment it does. So we're kind of spending money in the UK and it's your fault.
I know it's my fault because I said, no, we can't go away. We need to put some money back in the economy.
We do.
Ha
so,
ha.
Ha ha. Right, one of the things that I wanted to just sort of capture, there's lots of ladies out there that ride on the back of bikes. There's a few that we've met and a few that are really happy to ride on the back, and there's a few that obviously we've ridden, and there's plenty of girls out there that are on the back. You have your full licence?
I do have my full licence, yes.
But you don't like to use it?
Not really. No. I'll let you do the work. I sit and enjoy the scenery.
Brilliant. So, for any ladies that might be watching, or any gentlemen that are thinking about maybe taking their wife on the back, you've ridden on the back of a few bikes with me now. I have. How does the GS compare?
It's not a bad bike actually. If I'm being completely honest, I actually think that the back of the Triumph has actually got a bigger seat at the back. You know, I'm rather well padded, so I do like a little bit of room on the back. Saying that, there's plenty of space. It's absolutely fine. It's initially felt a little bit different to the Triumph, but in honesty, there's very little difference between them as a pillion from when you're actually riding. So obviously when you go away, compulsory, you have to have a hat, because as soon as you get off the bike, if you've got any hair, long hair or anything like that, in fact any type of hair, it's completely flattened, unlike Wayne, as you all know, who has no hair. So the other thing obviously is we did put on these seats, these nice, I don't know, they're not even padded. Cool covers, they're the word, that's what it is. So I was a little bit apprehensive or a little bit sceptical, because that's what I tend to be. However...
she was the same when she married me.
Absolutely. So I'll have to say though, they do help with airflow. They do allow air to come through. You don't think it at the time until they're not on there, and then you realise that actually they are letting through quite a lot of air.
Well, you were worried, weren't you, that you were going to slide on them? Yeah,
so I was going to say, the one thing I would say is they are more slippy than a standard seat, but you do get used to that. You just adjust how you're using your legs and your arms from a perspective of when you're riding as pillion. But they do help, they definitely help, especially when temperatures get to kind of around late 20s, early 30s, as we found when we were abroad in Poland and such like. They did make a big difference on it. So
let me ask you a couple of questions, right? So I'm quite kind to you, as you know. I did put some Outback Trekker guards on there, or some bits so that you could lean against it. Are they comfortable, they work?
Yeah, they make quite a difference. It does give you something to rest against. Depending on what your back protector is in the back of your jacket, depends whether you've got that on or off. Depends obviously how much space you have between the between yourself and your partner. However, they do help. But if you have a back protector on, to be honest, you'll get away without them. You don't really need them if you've got back protector in your jacket. If you don't have a back protector in your jacket, then they make a big difference.
What about holding on? How do you hold on to the bike?
So from my perspective, I tend to use the handles on the back here.
Yeah.
And I also obviously use my quads on the foot pegs.
Your quads?
My quads.
There is a complex word for most men to understand. What is a quad? What is a
it's
quad?
It's not a quad bike.
Not a quad bike.
It's these bits here.
Right, okay. Those muscles. Gentlemen, you are obviously, if you knew that, then you're much cleverer than me. My wife does use some big words occasionally.
Not often. Now I'm married to you. So the other thing, obviously, you can sometimes use when you're going along is I sometimes, depending if you're just on straight, I just tend to use the end of the. End of the pannier.
That's quite interesting, actually, from a pannier point of view, because there are those little bits in there. I'm not quite sure. Maybe somebody in the comments can tell me why that's not just like a rounded shape and why there's a. I mean, it's not a.
Because I hold on to it.
Well, that's probably what it's for, but it's never in the literature to tell anybody. So if anybody knows why those bits are there, then that would be great if you could just let us know. In one of the previous videos, I asked who made the calipers at the front, and lots of people have told me, so thank you for that. And it's always nice to know. So what are they for? Right, so the panniers are quite new for us, and you were a little bit. You didn't like the idea of the Vario panniers, did you?
No, because I like the givvies. Because they're just a bit more space in them.
Well, you say that, but interestingly enough, the thing that I don't like about these panniers as such is the gap that you get there with the exhaust, and you lose some space. But actually, you kind of don't, because the bags that come with these, so we bought the inner bags, the bags that come with these, the actual space that you've got in here is pretty much, apart from the actual bag, I don't know. The actual bag itself is pretty much the same size, but in that side you get a little bit extra, tiny little bit of extra bag, but not much at all. So anyway, sorry, back to you. Of all the bikes then, you said Triumph Explorer was the most comfortable, and you also mentioned with this one there's, we'll call it agricultural, but it's not quite what we meant, is it? It's a bit more vibraty.
Yes, it's a little bit more vibraty, but to be honest, it's as much as I don't notice it anymore now.
Right.
This one isn't as bad as the first GS that we actually test drove. So this one feels a lot more smoother. Whether it's they've uprated it or upgraded it.
Oh, you mean the 1200?
Yeah.
When we tried the 1200,
yeah.
You thought that was a lot more.
Yeah, there's a lot more vibration in that than there is in this one.
Okay.
This one's actually really smooth. Wayne would obviously like to say credit to that to his riding.
Yeah, we
obviously.
know that's not true.
But it feels very firm. It's very planted. It doesn't kind of skip at all. Not surprising with me on the back and all our luggage. But other than that, yeah, no, it's actually a really nice, firm, planted ride.
And I guess one last thing to kind of say before we go to the outtakes, because there are a few. Not you, by the way, me, obviously. But the panniers and the back box, we've got the bigger Givy back box and not the Vario, so we can get quite a lot in that. But I would say that is heavy.
Yeah, it is heavy, yeah.
And the other thing that we criticise in our bitching session is that these particular little...
The bars,
thank you, good word. These bars we've had to glue in here over the past couple of days because we were going down some steps and both bars came out on us because they're not quite long enough when they put this in. So yes, we've caught some damage. I have a friend of mine who wrapped this box for me because I never bought it black, and I may at some point ask him to re-wrap it. He'll hate me because it actually was quite hard work. But yeah, it's good. So your overall feedback?
Yeah, very happy with it. Very happy with it. Yes.
Would you
Smile.
ride it? Would you ride it?
I could, but would I? Probably not.
Why?
Because it's a little bit big for me. I'll stick with something a little bit smaller.
The weight low down is good though, isn't it? Although we've had a couple of moments over the last couple of days. Not necessarily when we've been on it, but when we're sort of manoeuvring it.
No, manoeuvring it.
just because of the weight that actually sits in the panniers and the weight that sits in the back box when you're on the ground and you're moving it around or taking it off the stand. But so I have to say, overall, kind of getting back to the touring from the UK or touring around the UK, we've done Derbyshire.
Yeah, we did Derbyshire and the Yorkshire Dales. Now we're up in the Lake District.
So the Peak District, Yorkshire Dales, the Lake District, and
That's
out
where
of
we
all
are
of
now.
them, I say the Lake District's great, but it's more busy.
Yeah, it's definitely busier.
Peak District and riding.
Peak District was nice.
That was lovely.
Yorkshire Dales were lovely.
Yorkshire Dales were lovely. So there are plenty of places in summary to go in the UK. You don't always have to go abroad.
Not when you've got 28 degrees
I know.
and you're melting.
Really hot today, I have to say, really hot. Anyway, so I must say my apologies. Adele has or Mrs. Smile rather, has the microphone, so that's why I'm probably shouting in the background and not picking it up. But let's show you a little bit of the scenery and let you know a couple of more things. So this is one of those, how do you get on when you're a pillion? Or how not to get on when you're a pillion?
Probably how not to.
Right, so my wife is sporting the C3 Pro with woman on the side, just in case we don't get our helmets mixed up. Guys, funny, I don't know whether that's a marketing thing or whether that's just a small helmet that that they've just stuck a paint scheme on. Why should a woman's head be any different to a man's?
Oh, they are the smaller.
Yeah, apparently you've got a smaller brain as well, which is quite strange, really, because you're much more intelligent than I am.
We have to be. Right, are we ready?
That's what I tell her anyway. Right. Yes, we are ready. And you have the Triumph top on just to confuse people. Yeah, you like a little bit of yellow, don't you? You like high vis. Yes, be seen, be safe. Right, I'm going to get on.
Get on, because it's hot.
So you hold that. It's hot, right, as she said. So I'm going to put these in my pocket so that I don't lose them. Keyless, you know. Along with my mask. And this is how I get on my bike. I'm going to have to put my gloves on in a minute, sorry. Step over. And I'm on. And then if I put these on, cut to my gloves on. So how are you going to get on? Oh right, there's a little bit of a trousers exercise going on.
The armour's not in the right
The armour's not quite on in place, right, okay.
And I have to put your hand on the shoulder.
So hand on shoulder, now what do you do?
I pick my leg
So
up.
a leg over and over, right, okay. I'm not sure whether we're getting this. And then there's an uching, kind of like a way.
Yeah.
Now most people would probably say there is a better way of getting on than that, but not for you, is there, dear?
My legs are too long, I can't put them through the middle.
Your legs are too long. Legs are too long. And how tall are you?
I'm 5'6".
5'6". Legs are too long. I don't think so. Anyway, look, it's getting dramatically hot now, so
is.
I'm going to pass to Mrs. Smile, and we'll get ourselves moving. Right, try not to move that, lose that road pack on top, won't you? Okay. Well, there you go. If you've got any comments for Adele at all, or any questions, or you're a girl that's thinking about getting yourselves onto a bike and riding with your husband or boyfriend or significant other, then all you need to do is just pop a like in the old box down below, and then don't forget to comment, and I'm sure I'll get Adele to answer your questions for you. Or should I call her Mrs. Smile, because she does that quite often. I think that's when she sees me naked. Anyway, don't mention that to her, thank goodness. I hope whatever you're doing is, whilst you're watching this video, is having a good time. Don't forget, it's all about the like. No, treble. No, what am I talking about? Oh, I don't know. I shouldn't record these overviews and these audios whilst I've had a glass of wine, which always seems to be the case whilst I'm editing. I don't know what's going on. I really don't. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. It's been absolutely fantastic. There's a few more of these and one little outtake at the back, which is the bonus thing in all of my videos. Watch the outtakes, because I have to tell you, recording these YouTube stuff, there are many. Anyway, here's a little bonus one for you. Hope you're having a good time. Stay safe, speak soon, or listen soon, or I don't know, something anyway. Yep. Hello, welcome, it's Smile, you're on TV. I'll do that bit again, so there was some dogs barking.